Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm a parent educator at the Exceptional Children's Assistance Center. Like you, I have a child with a disability. Joey is a young adult now, and over the years, I learned a lot about working with the schools to make sure his IEP gave him what he needed. In the beginning, I wasn't sure if any of my opinions counted, and if I disagreed, I was afraid it meant something was wrong.
These are great goals, but Brooke's in the 6th grade, and she's only reading at a 2nd grade level.
Since then, I've learned that conflict in special education is normal. In fact, when handled well, conflict can actually be productive.
She wants to know if there is a limit.
No, however, we do want to be careful if we create too many.
When all the members of your IEP team feel free to express ideas and question one another, it means everyone's participating and sharing their expertise. At ECAC, we believe it's best when IEP teams can work through their disagreements so that the people closest to a child are making decisions about their education.
Well, we could try a peer buddy, or we could work in small groups more often.
Okay, that sounds good.
In this video, we'll explore the kinds of conflict that are a natural part of special education, strategies to work through disagreements and prevent more serious conflict, and additional options for when you've tried our strategies and still feel stuck. We want you to feel confident that you're an equal partner in your child's education.
The biggest frustration for me, teachers not following the IEP.
Finding teachers that will abide by the IEPs and give the services that they're supposed to properly so these students can have the same education as their peers.
One of my frustrations is the lack of understanding about disabilities and the variety of knowledge about it from teacher to teacher.
I am a teacher, and it is alarming to me that how little education I got in special education.
A lot of times we don't know who we're supposed to contact. We don't know what we're supposed to say.
I was very worried and confused because it was very hard for me to understand all those kind of new words for me.
I think a lot of times they only see a piece of the picture when they see my daughter.
I think special education would be better if there was an assumption from the start that all kids can learn, and that teachers approached it with the expectation that children are sitting there ready to learn, even if they can't talk, even if they can't move the way we would expect.
Sounds familiar, right? Now, let's hear from school staff who have their own perspectives and responsibilities.
The paperwork is very cumbersome sometimes and doesn't seem very parent-friendly. And I think the parents can get kind of bogged down in that.
I think sometimes there are very real mismatches between what the school personnel and the parent believe is appropriate progress for a particular child.
So many times I realize parents want you to listen. So they don't feel like that you are listening to them or getting a clear understanding of what's going on with their child, then that's whenever I can see that things go wrong.
Oftentimes what I see is that parents call. They know that there is a policy out there. However, they don't know the interpretation of the policy.
Sometimes we accidentally use and rely on lingo so much that's so common to us and so familiar to us, but not the parent, that parents end up feeling disconnected from the process and not a true member of the IEP team.
I have felt in the past that parents didn't trust what I was doing, and that's not a good feeling for a teacher.
So, how do we move forward? Well, knowing who to talk to really helps. You can prevent many misunderstandings by regularly communicating with your child's teacher. You should feel free to ask questions and discuss what's on your mind.
I'm wondering if he has my dyslexia.
Your child's special education teacher can also consult with other school staff when their expertise is needed.
Hi, Alex. How are you today?
Good.
Come on in.
If you still have concerns after talking with the teachers, contact the principal, who can also address school-wide issues, such as bullying. If you need more help with special education, you can also reach out to the EC, or Exceptional Children's Department, at your school district's central office. Let's hear some tips on communicating with school staff.
I find it's helpful to send an email at the very beginning of the year to let the teacher know a little bit about my son, his interests, and his challenges at school.
The very first thing you want to do is make a student profile of your child so that at least the school would know everything they need to know about your child.
A good tip for parents would be to share your child's disability. So if you know that information, then share your child's disability, share your child's strengths. What are they good at?
And if I was talking to a parent of a kid with an invisible disability, I would say you got to communicate with your teacher, like always. They are your ally. And if they don't know what's going on, then they're going to make all sorts of assumptions.
We work with our staff a lot to help them understand perspective and not taking things for granted and not making assumptions about students or families when things get challenging, especially, but having empathy, asking the right questions, and mostly, right, listening, just listening.
The second thing would be to write everything down. Absolutely, it doesn't matter if you think it's important or not. Document.
Always keep a track of communication. Email is I always say email is the best way to keep track of communication, even in addition to phone calls. So email first, phone call second.
It's a shame when small things get in the way. I recommend that parents update their contact information, mailing addresses, telephone numbers, and email addresses with the school.
So sometimes an issue can be resolved between maybe just a parent and a teacher, but I just want parents to be sure and feel comfortable with the fact that they can call an IEP team meeting to solve a problem whenever they feel they need to.
ECAC told me to keep a list or make a list of different questions, concerns, things of that nature before the meeting. So number one, that I could go in just more confident and be more of an advocate for my daughter to get her what she needs.
Some of the most powerful, effective IEP meetings that I've been a part of is when all IEP team members are really functioning in their role, and that includes parents.
No one knows your child better than you. We've had your child maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years, but you've had your child their whole life. So you are the true advocate. So you know what's best for your child.
Like, stick with your gut. Like, if you know in your gut something isn't right, then don't let it go.
I think that I know when a family or a parent is feeling trust for me when they will contact me first and will initiate the conversation.
Also, give the staff grace. We know that what we go through as parents, but I think a lot of times our frustration meets staff a lot of times head on.
Sometimes it's really hard, and sometimes my brain is like shaking, but I stay grounded for him.
So one thing that makes special education work is when everybody is working together as a team. All the teachers, specialists, parents, you're working together as a team, and it's like you're all on the same sheet of music, you're all doing the same dance, and you're doing what's best for the child's interest.
It is so important for parents to show up and be a part of the IEP team, whether it's in person, through email, or text. Chloe, why is it important for you?
Special education is really about me.
At ECAC, we're here to help you navigate your child's special education needs. All of our parent educators have children with disabilities, so we know what's involved. One of the most important things we've learned is the power of communicating effectively about your child. Let's take a look at the difference communication styles can make as a parent meets one-on-one with a school administrator.
My son Kobe, he's in Mrs. James' class, and honestly, it's not going very well. And Kobe, I'm here because I want more speech therapy. For Kobe?
Yes, I know. I know that right now he's getting an hour a week, 30 minutes twice a week, which is pretty typical.
Yeah, not enough. Not enough for Kobe. He's going to need... I would like to see Kobe get an hour a day, 4 days a week.
4 days a week?
Mrs. Smith, he's not making the progress that I expected at this point. Maybe I should teach Kobe to act out. Maybe then he would actually get some attention.
Well, certainly our teachers are very attentive to the students.
Yeah, the teachers.
The teachers have a lot of students in the class. You know, the teacher has a lot of students.
Yeah,
and they
I get
can't
that, but I'm not here to talk about the other students. I'm here to talk about Kobe. He's not making any progress. I feel like you're completely just shutting me down with the speech therapy request when you people have all of the money that you want to spend, and you're telling me that you don't have enough for more speech therapy with Kobe?
Well, there may be some other options that we can look at, but I'm just not sure that we can commit to more speech therapy.
You know what? I'm sure I'll probably see you in due process then. Okay? Bye-bye.
Wow, that was really hard to watch.
Conversations that end like that are really hard to come back from.
I really wish they'd listened to each other so they could have done a better job of helping Kobe.
Let's take a look at a different approach.
So, I'm here because I'm not exactly satisfied with Kobe's progress. I feel like he should have made more progress by now, and, well, I feel like now is the time to fix what needs to be fixed. Specifically, I think that Kobe could use more speech therapy to kind of fix the whole situation, but I really want to talk to you more about that first.
I see. So currently, Kobe is receiving 30 minutes of therapy twice a week, so an hour a week, and you'd like to talk about increasing that?
Yeah, I would, really. Honestly, I think that an hour a day is necessary at this point. 4 days a week. I know it sounds like a lot, but you know, I have my reasons.
Well, let's talk about those.
I guess my main goal is for him to be able to communicate with his peers. I always get really sad when I go to pick him up and Kobe's just... he's alone in the corner. None of the other kids are playing with him and... Thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe I don't know, maybe he needs more skills. But I think the only way to get there is with more therapy.
It sounds like you're looking for us to work together to find ways to increase his communication skills, specifically with his peers. Is that correct?
Yes. I would like to find a way, for us to find a way to facilitate more meaningful exchanges between Kobe and his peers. Maybe that means more speech therapy, or I don't know.
Hay mucho respeto entre ellos en este video. Eso me hace sentir muy optimista.
Conversations like that are really powerful in showing how special education processes can work and benefit students like Kobe. Partnerships are so critical.
And the administrator was more caring. She actually listened.
Focusing on your child's needs makes a big difference. It encourages the team to work through problems and find solutions. Sometimes, though, in spite of your best efforts, conflict can intensify, and it becomes necessary to move to a higher level.
DPI has a team of dispute resolution consultants that work with schools and families to resolve disputes. We're not here to take sides with either party. We help them navigate their options in the special education process. North Carolina offers another way of resolving an impasse with an IEP team, a facilitated IEP meeting. A trained neutral facilitator is assigned to the meeting to assist the team with reaching a consensus. This is a great option when parents and schools are not communicating well and there are complicated issues.
When conflicts can't be resolved by an IEP team, the federal special education law, known as IDEA, gives you the right to pursue 3 formal options. These vary in terms of intensity, timeline, possible outcomes, and impact on relationships with school staff. Our ECAC staff, or DPI's dispute resolution consultants, can help you weigh your options based on your specific concerns. Mediation is the first option. It's relatively quick and has a high success rate. In mediation, a trained mediator helps you and local school staff find solutions you can agree on. The collaborative process helps prevent damage to relationships on the IEP team. Another option is to file a formal written complaint, often called a state complaint, if you believe that the school has not correctly followed special education requirements. DPI has 60 days to investigate your complaint and issue a written decision. The most serious option under IDEA is to file a due process complaint, which can lead to a hearing in front of a judge. You might use this option when you believe the school has not provided the services your child needs to make progress. Many families hire an attorney to represent them, and it is the judge who makes the final decision. Like in all relationships that matter, differences of opinion are a natural part of special education. And while IDEA provides these formal options, most of the time IEP teams can resolve differences cooperatively. You can help make that happen by using the skills we've covered today. Please contact us at ECAC so we can help you use your voice for your child.